Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's morning coffee with Mike. Today, I've actually got some tea. Today, we're going to be talking about getting value from your lists and getting the way your list can really give you more value than any news program, any newspaper, or even any headlines. And so I wanted to go through the power of these lists and really explain to you how to do it and why and how it could really be effective for you. So a few things. So if this could be more valuable than any newspaper news program or headline. Well, why is that? There's a few different reasons why. The first is you would pre-filter your universe down into just a few things, right? And so the news headlines and all that will be spread far and wide. You're just interested in this narrow little segment here. When you pre-filter the market into what you care about, then you can really see what people are doing versus what people are saying. Uh, you can see the moves that they make, and people can say a lot of different things, and you'll see a lot of different things being posted in the news or in headlines or in the papers, and they're trying to drive a narrative. When you watch what people are doing, when you watch your lists and by extension the charts that are on your list, you're seeing what people are actually doing. People vote with their dollars. They talk with their mouths, but they vote with their dollars. And you could see what they're actually doing in real time. And that can be far more valuable than any kind of headline or newspaper or program. So, how do you do this? I'm going to share with you the process that I go through. So, step one, we'll bring the Instagram over that way, and I will share my screen over here on YouTube and everywhere else. Let's get this going over here. All right, so there's that. And there's this. We spoke a little bit about this program here yesterday. It's called MarketSmith. And so what I'll do is I'll set up daily and weekly screens in this thing. You don't necessarily have to use MarketSmith. I like MarketSmith a lot. There's a lot of cool features in it, but you don't have to use MarketSmith. What I like are these screens that I've set up for myself right over here. So I'll run weekly screens and I'll run daily screens. I've set all these screens up so that way I can run the same screens over and over again each week, each day. And in that way, I know exactly the information that I'm getting. Well, when you look at the news or headlines or anything like that, you don't really know what you're getting and you don't really know what slant you're getting along with it. So build the daily and weekly screens. Then from there, right? So I've built these daily and weekly screens. So on the weekend, I'm building what's called a universe list, and I'll share with you my universe list. The universe list is I use MarketSmith to build it, but I actually keep it in a spreadsheet, and the spreadsheet is right here. So let me turn this back around, and so that way you guys could see it better. Okay, so I've got my universe list. And so I'll run all the screens in MarketSmith and I'll dump them into this universe list. And the reason why I like to do it that way is so that way, you know, I know what's in each one of the screens that I'm running. I'm running various fundamental screens. I'm running various technical screens, and I'll take those screens and I'll dump them into a list. And what that's going to allow me to be able to do is to see how the market is responding to the things that I'm interested in. Is Are more stocks passing my screens during a certain period? Yes or no? If they are, then that's telling me that the market is favoring my style. If I'm seeing less stocks pass, then that's telling me that the market isn't favoring my style. And so I'm able to get a real good pulse on the market just based off of the screens, just based off of the watch lists here. I'm able to see which I'm able to see which sectors and groups are floating to the top of the list, right? So over the past several weeks, I've seen building stocks float to the top of the list. I didn't need to read that on any kind of a headline. I didn't need to tune into a news program. I'm able to see it right on my list, and I'm able to see it a lot faster than waiting for somebody else to break that kind of news, right? Well, when we're sitting around and waiting for somebody to tell us what to think, we're inherently a lot slower. When we're doing this kind of work, we're able to be a lot faster. We're just up to step two. Step three, taking this list and pulling out the stocks that are setting up. So I'll do that. I'll run through this whole thing, and I'm still using MarketSmith at this point. Again, you don't have to use MarketSmith. You could use whatever screening tool you want, but I'll take all the stocks that we're setting up from the universe list and I'll put them into a trade ideas list. And trade ideas for me are anything that is setting up in a base pattern that I'm interested in trading. So I'll take all the stocks from the universe, dump it in there. That's going to tell me a few different things too. One, it's going to tell me what types of setups there are. It's going to tell me a lot about the quality of the setups that there are. It's going to tell me what industry groups and sectors are currently setting up. And if there's a lot of stocks from a particular industry group or sector all setting up at the same time, that's something that can produce some of the most powerful moves. And that's what we've seen so many times before. That's what we saw previously in building. That's what we saw in the internet and software, so many software stocks setting up and breaking out this week. So the list is a really powerful tool if you allow it to do so. That was, let me see, where were we? That was step four. See what is getting into the universe list, what is leading, and how things are moving around. Step five, see what is setting up on the trade ideas list, groups and sectors. So, all right, so I blended steps four and five. Step six, step six, run screens daily. Run screens daily. So I've set up all these screens over here that all tell me different things. So I've got relative strength at 52-week highs, various volume screens over here, some moving average screens, something that I call a rocket scan that I learned about. Have all these different screens, and the cool thing, well, with this tool here, MarketSmith, is that it lets me run all these screens over my universe list. So I'm not scanning the entire market every single day. I'm taking these daily screens and just running them over my universe list, which is a really cool feature. Helps me save a ton of time doing it that way. So some of the power of doing this some of the power of doing it in this way is that there's a certain magic that happens, and the magic is this. The magic is that it actually takes less time to run screens and build lists and get insights from it than it takes to go and scour the internet for the various news and then trying to read through all these articles, analyze those articles, then try to decide, well, how am I going to respond on this day or that day? Uh, Screw all that noise, right? What we want to do is focus, focus and block out the noise. This process lets you, it takes less time, right? So everything that I just showed you was the same process that I was doing when I was trading part time and still had my full time job. I would be able to do that in about 20 to 30 minutes per day, each day. And then on the weekend, when I'm building the universe list and going through that and finding trade ideas, that would take me only about maybe an hour or so on the weekend. Much, much faster, much better insights. and it's giving much deeper and, most importantly, unbiased insights into the market, and you're not going to need to listen to anyone else. Not to me, not to anybody else. You'll be able to do your own research and get your own insights, and that's what's going to be able to give you the best opportunity for success. And that's pretty much what every single major success story has done. Every US investing champion has done it that way. People are doing their own research, getting their own insights, and following their own process. They're not going to 100 different spots to get research and then try to see, well, what was the best uh, analyst. So those are my thoughts. Let me know what questions you guys have. Let's go through them. Just scrolling through here on Instagram. Go back up to the top. I'll scroll down here. You guys over on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Twitter, type into the chat as well. All right, some basic questions coming in. How much money is needed for a trader? If you're just getting started, the idea is to start small. So you want to use the amount of funds that it won't hurt you if you were to lose them all. And that should be your expectation, that you're going to go in and you need to be willing to lose whatever money you're putting in. You don't want to have any kind of attachment to this money that you're going to use. So whatever that amount is for you, great, use that. You want to use a small amount, especially when you're just starting, because you're going to be making more mistakes in the beginning than you will later on. Whether it could just be clicking the wrong button on the broker. You might need to buy 10 shares, you might end up buying 100 shares. You might want to buy at a certain price, you enter it in incorrectly because you're still learning. So you want to use a very small amount in the beginning. Once you get over that hump, you want to start to scale up, but you want to do so progressively. You want to do so as you're starting to make gains. Perhaps the most important point is that you want to give yourself time. Don't go into trading with the idea that you're going to start to make money immediately. Go into trading with the idea that you're going to educate yourself first. Education is the most important thing. Without education, you're not going to be able to do any of this. You're just going to be spinning your wheels, and you could potentially spinning your wheels for years. I learned that lesson the hard way. So go into it with the mindset that you're going to learn. You're going to spend the first 1 or 2 years just learning, just trying to get the process down, and not just doing it by yourself. Go get a coach, go get a mentor, somebody that you could learn from, somebody that you could trust, somebody that you could bounce ideas off of. And then that's going to speed up your learning curve dramatically, and you'll be learning in the right way versus having to unlearn a whole bunch of stuff because you went out on your own or you're learning from the wrong people. What do I think about USD JPY? Well, let's pull it up. I'm not a forex trader, but I could give some thoughts based on my analysis of JP. Is it JPY? All right, so let's pull this chart over to here. I'll switch the screen around and let's take a look at JPSY. Now for charts, I like to use TradingView. TradingView is a much better charting service than MarketSmith. MarketSmith is phenomenal when it comes to everything else. So a few things on this chart. It seems like it's rounding out almost like a VCP, and it just broke out yesterday. Right, so VCP, so it had this first consolidation here, second consolidation there, third consolidation here, and it's starting to break out and turn right here. The volume was kind of crap, But so far, it's getting above this major moving average there. That's a 200-day moving average. And if we draw a straight line right across the majority of those tops, so I'll start it from right here. It broke out right there. So we've got that red dotted line now. So it broke out yesterday, broke out above here, there, and you have uh, this area back here where it was testing. It was a prior support area back here and from back here. So what is that level? That's about 137, 138, right around there. Prices starting to break out above there. I'd look for it to hold that level if it can. And right now, I'd be starting to lean bullish on this idea. We could go deeper, but I think that that gives you a good starting point. Let's see what other questions we've got. Is there a specific time you should trade or any time when the market is open? It really depends on your style. It depends on what it is that you're trying to do. For me, I like to swing trade stocks. So I'll set up my orders. My orders are all with my broker right now. And I'm able to have trades on during the middle of the day and not pay attention to them. Why? Because I'm not interested in a 5-minute chart or a 10-minute chart for these kind of things. I'm looking at daily and weekly time frames, so that frees up my day to still be able to trade, but I don't have to be glued to the screens. In trading, one of the best things about trading is that you can set it up in whatever way is going to work best for you. What you need to do is to find systems, find styles that work. There's so many out there. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. Just find a system or strategy that works. There's lots of ways to do it. If you like my style, then I teach my style to the inside our elite coaching program. If you're interested in that, click the link in my bio and you'll go to a page where you could learn more about it. But the idea is to find a way that works for you, model that, and then customize it to fit you. And that's a lot of what we teach as well. All right, last question, and then I'm gonna have to hop off. Do you believe in trading robots? It really depends on the robot. I'm sure that just like everything else, I'm sure that there's a few good ones and a lot of crap. I would need to understand what this robot is doing. How it's managing risk, what types of trades it's taking, what types of markets it's taking. If there's some kind of a way that I could override what this robot is doing, if we put our blind faith into anything, the moment that it starts to not work, then that's when we start to hijack the system. So we really need to know the ins and outs of how this thing works and why, and it's hard to do that if you don't already have some base knowledge of trading, and that's really why I wrote the Trading Mind Wheel book. You can see it right there behind me on the shelf. That's why I wrote the Trading Mind Wheel book, so that way you could start to understand the different skill sets that are required for trading, and it goes through not just mindset, but it goes through the types of things that you would want to analyze. It goes through the types of risk management and position sizing, all those different kinds of things, because you want to make sure if you're hiring a robot, you want to make sure that it has all these elements baked into it, and it'll allow you to be in a position to understand if you should hire this robot or not, and if you do hire the robot, if you should fire it. Ultimately, no matter what, it's your business. You're the CEO. You're in control. Whether you choose to outsource it to a human, a robot, or if you're going to do it yourself, you're still in control. And that's it for today. It's the end of the week. I hope you guys have a great weekend. We will not have the show on Monday. On Monday, I'm actually going down to the New York Stock Exchange to ring the bell. That's going to be real exciting. So I'll be there for the New York Stock Exchange bell ceremony. I'll be filming down there. You guys will see the videos later on. That'll be really cool. But no show on Monday. We'll pick things up again on Tuesday. And on Tuesday, I'm thinking of starting the show at 10 o'clock and test out that new time and see how that goes. Until then, I'll see you guys next week at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. Take care. Much love. Peace out, everybody.